Alright guys, welcome back to the channel today. Hope everybody's doing well. So, I was going to film all these little Idaho recap videos down at the shop in my little office area there, Keisha's office area, and there's some work going on down there today, so I thought, why not just come hang out here in the studio. If you hear the dogs bark, pay them no attention. But this is kind of where all the video making happens. This is my little area here. And I thought, well, it'll be easy to show you guys on screen here. I haven't got quite sophisticated enough to switch over and do the screen captures and all that. But anyway, I wanted to share what I think is probably the funniest thing that happened this entire trip. So Forrest, this is his helper Justin here. And this is his home for the 7-day period that we camped here, I believe it was. And the Boise River runs right behind here, and I camped right on the river. And, you know, when we're doing these videos, and all you guys that are awesome enough to watch them all and followed the whole journey, there's things that happen that really never get talked about on camera because it doesn't really, you know, not even filming it or whatever. Because I try to really just get the highlights of where we ride and the cool areas. But anyway, things happen. And until you think back on it, Cody and I tell this story to one another probably 100 times, and we always fall out in the floor laughing. So it's just the Eastern boys meet the Western boys. We've never had to deal with some of these things that happen out west, grizzly bears or whatever. So I'll get right into it. So basically, Forrest is just like me. When we went out of business at our dealership, he went back home and opened his own little shop, and Justin here is his technician at his shop, and they were awesome enough to take a whole week off pretty much and go with us to show us around this area. So Forrest does some towing, or did do some, and he's very familiar. He grew up in this area, and his mining claims up in here. So it was awesome to get somebody to take us places that, hey, let's go over here and show you guys a cool thing. Went to some hot springs like I talked about before, you've seen in the video. But just a good tour guide, you know, and Justin's been living there for a few years and he knows about it pretty well. But you'd have to know Justin. He's a pretty funny dude. He's a big guy. I think he's 6'5" or more. I'm not sure, but he's a big fella. And he actually rode this XR. That was what he rode during the XR 500. I believe that thing's like in the mid-80s maybe or something, but it's a really cool machine. And here's the old CT125 Trusty that Charlie rode. This is Cody's dad. As you guys probably know, he hauled the bikes out for us. So what happened was we were hanging around the fire late one evening. Second or third day we were there, I think. And had cooked supper, and we were sitting around. It got super late. We were telling stories of times gone by and just having a great time. Forrest's son, Alec, was there. And we just had a good time, and I don't remember what we cooked that night. But anyway, we had a couple of these tables, as you see here, close to the fire with, you know, condiments on them and things like that. And it's one of those nights where it's super late and you just go straight to bed and you're like, I'll worry about all that junk in the morning, you know. We didn't really have any food out, but maybe some salt and pepper and just knick-knack, things like that. And one of these chairs here, I believe these are those camping chairs that have the little tables on the side. They were close to the fire here. Well, I get up really early one morning, and my ritual was I would get up and come out of the campground. I'll show you guys here in a minute on the screen, and walk up the road and walking, I guess you would say, west. And there, Big Smoky Creek came across there. It was a bridge, and it was just beautiful. And every morning it was nice and cool. And I would just get up and take a walk while I drank my coffee. Everybody else was sleeping usually. And this particular morning, I got up, and I don't remember exactly the perfect sequence of events, but I got up and I noticed that this table here was laying over in the fire, and I guess the fire had went out enough that night, and I didn't really think a whole lot about it. I thought maybe somebody knocked it over. And then I noticed there were other things kind of out of place, and I thought, First thing you think of is, you know what, I did wake up in the middle of the night and hear a noise. And I did remember waking up, peeking out of the tent, didn't really see anything, just kind of went back to sleep. And I can't remember if I took the walk first or heard Justin's tent unzip. But anyway, I thought I saw like some tracks around, but they looked like tracks I had never seen. They didn't look like deer tracks. And I thought, well, they have pronghorns and stuff out there that we don't have here out east. Didn't really pay it a whole lot of attention. Maybe Justin unzipped his tent first, and I heard the zipper, or I went to walk first. I can't remember. Anyway, he said, man, there was a wolf out here last night. He's like, I looked out, and I'm pretty sure I saw it. And either that happened first, or me going for my walk, I came out of this little area. Can't remember exactly how the sequence of events went. But let me show you if I can show you guys here. We'll back it up here a little bit. Yeah, all right, so this was camp here, and I would come out every morning, take a right, and head up here to this bridge, and just beautiful. Every morning, right at sun up, you know. Well, anyway, this particular morning, it was completely fogged over. Everything was super thick fog and mist. Almost you could feel it. And as I rounded this corner here, I saw a glimpse of a gray figure. Go figure, a gray wolf, right? Just kind of almost just like floating up through there in that fog. It was just weird, you know. And I was like, "Oh man, I bet a wolf was in the camp last night and was just sniffing around and knocked all that over." One of those big gray wolves, and because they're definitely everywhere out there. So I'm really cautious about walking that morning. I don't think I even went near as far, and I came back to camp and. When I got back to camp, we were talking about it some more or whatever. Well, Justin kind of had his head sticking out with this super concerned look on his face, you know. And about this time, Cody's getting up. He sleeps over here near me in a tent that like a hammock style tent. And he's getting up, and he's like, he saw that concerned face on Justin, and I said, man, I think I saw a wolf up there. And Justin's like, man. There was 2 of them, I believe, last night. Well, we get to looking for tracks, and me and Cody both were like, but we don't see any tracks. He's like, yeah, I think they were just floating, man. They wasn't even touching the ground. So there was super concern around the camp, you know. We're like looking around and stuff, and I'm telling you, man, it was just like one of those stories where you're just convinced 100% that there was definitely a couple of gray wolves were roaming around our camp while this dangerous pack was off in the background just waiting for a snack. Oh, it was so great. I wish Cody was here to tell the rest of it. But so, after a good little bit of concern and getting our morning going, and this particular morning, I believe the next video, I'll talk about where we went up to Forest Mining Claim, which, man, a story I had heard for 20 years about where he grew up camping in the weekends, and just pictured in my mind what it was like, and it just completely blew away that mental picture, man. What a time. So that'll be next time. We'll go over that and some funny things that happened then too. But so the moral of this story is that gray wolf we named Woolfy, Woolfy, and this was Woolfy. Right here is that dangerous animal with those crazy looking footprints. And it was scared to death of Cody's dad's dog, which is a tiniest chihuahua you'll ever meet. All it had to do is nip at it one time and it was gone. Yep, like I said, there's the doggies. But yeah, this was just a great day. That really got the morning started. And we laughed about that the entire duration of the whole rest of the trip, about that dangerous gray wolf. So I figured you guys would enjoy that little story. And man, what a time this was. Like I said, the Boise River, I guess you would call that the East Fork of the Boise River, runs right down through there. Cody fished in it, and we just had a great time. But that sums it up for this one, guys. I thought you guys would love that horror story of a camping trip that we had. So stay tuned for the next one. If you haven't, go down and think about subbing to the channel. And if you like what you see, make sure you go down there and hit that like button. It helps the videos. And the next one, maybe we'll be back in the shop, or maybe we'll do the same. You guys go down in the comments and let me know if you like this way I'm doing this. I just thought I lost an absolute ton of recent footage of riding. As you guys know, a really bad hurricane came through, and I went to check on a buddy of mine up in North Carolina. I couldn't really get him on the phone, and he was fine, by the way, but I filmed a lot of that destruction up there, and something corrupted the file, and I think I can get it back. Ansh over at Some Guy Rides said that he thought he could get it back for me with a program, so we're going to try that. But this is just some filler videos. Let me know if you like what you see. I'm going to try to do each video in the playlist. We'll skip some of the ones that doesn't really have. There's some of them are just slideshows. So, but all right, guys, make sure you come back for the next one. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Take care.